train, and it's called the rope. Now, when we're using a rope, the reason we use a rope is because a rope simulates arm. If I were to look down at the end of the rope closer towards the camera, and I were to change the depth with my eyeballs by looking at the rope and then following the rope back down to here, and I go back and forth with my eyes onto the rope looking at it, it's going to simulate a punch coming towards me. Now, what we're going to use this for in relation to a punch coming at me is how to evade that punch. So we're going to go into our first rope drill, and it's called slipping. So I'm right here. I'm going to get in my fighting stance. We already went over the fighting stance. I'm going to have this on my shoulder right here to my ear. Whenever I slip, pretty much what I am doing, I'm going to imagine this punch coming towards my face. And then I'm just going to take a small step, and I'm going to turn my body at the same time. So I'm going to do it in 2 small steps. So where I'm right here, I'm looking, my depth perception at the rope, it feels like an arm's coming at me. I'm going to step with my lead foot first, and then I'm going to just turn my body just like that. Notice like I didn't do any extra movements besides those 2. I step, I'm in my fighting stance, and I'm just rocking my body. So my left elbow is right here, and this hand is up here blocking still, okay? I'm ready to attack this person at this point. What I'm going to follow up with is the punch we went over, which is called a hook, or a 3 in this case. So I'm going to go to a 3, bam, and I'm going to lightly touch this. I'm going to make sure my elbow and my hand are in line with this. And instead of just pivoting, I stepped on this forward foot, and I pivoted at the same time to get this hook out. So I'm going to go over that one more time. We're going to go over it on the left side, and then I'm going to go over everything over on the right side. So I'm looking back and forth, a punch is coming at me, I step, I twist my body slightly, I'm still looking at my opponent, my hand's still blocking, this elbow rocked down, so now all I gotta do, I need to transfer energy from up here into here so I can hit my opponent. So I'm going to step and pivot, and I'm going to throw my hook all at the same time, making sure I land with the first 2 knuckles on the rope. I'm not blasting the rope, I'm just barely lightly touching it. If I were to blast this rope, it will knock my camera down there, which I'm not going to do. And there's no reason to do it anyway, because it's going to break whatever you're holding your rope onto. So once I'm like this, I hit it, I'm in a hook position. I want to go back to my fighting stance. I'm going to bring this leg forward, and I'm going to put my hands back up. And now I'm ready to do it again. I'm going to look at the rope. I see an arm coming at me when I change my depth perception on here. And I slip. I stepped, and I moved my body in one movement this time. I just did it really fast. I stepped, and then I went like that. I just did it really fast. Okay? And then I'm going to step, pivot, and I'm going to throw my hook. Okay? I'm going to bring my leg forward, hands back. I'm going to do a fighting position. I'm looking back and forth. Arms coming, step, turn my body, step, pivot, and I'm going to punch just like this, do my hook. Okay, now we're going to go on the other side. In my fighting position, the rope's right here over my shoulder. I'm looking back and forth. I see a punch coming at me. I'm going to step with my rear foot this time because I'm going this direction. I'm going to step with the foot that's on that side. And then I'm going to turn my body slightly. Okay, now that punch slipped past me. I'm going to step with my lead foot towards him, and then I'm going to pivot off this, and I'm going to throw my hook. Just like that. So back in our fighting position, I look back and forth, I see a punch coming, I'm going to slightly step, I turn my body, and then I'm going to step forward, and then I'm going to throw my punch. I'm looking at my opponent this whole time, I'm not completely turning around, turning my back towards him whenever I slip. Alright? Fighting stance. Depth perception. Step. Slightly turn the body. I'm going to counter now. That's what it's called when you come back and attack after they come and attack you and evade or block. It's a counter. I step, and then I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to explode on my hook. Bam, right there. I'm going to bring this foot forward this time. Alright, I reset. The punch going back and forth with my depth perception. I step, I I slightly turn, I step again, and then I pivot and I do my punch. I bring myself forward. Alright, so I think y'all get the concept.